YouTube, how are we? I thought today I would film a full day of eating because last week my calories got dropped. My calories have already been really low throughout this entire prep, but now they got dropped a tiny bit more and I am feeling it. I'm not gonna lie. Hunger was very high over the weekend, but that's not unheard of for me because I'm not doing as much, so I'm a little bit more food focused. During the week, obviously, I'm very busy with work, so it's not quite as bad. But energy was absolutely tanked over the weekend. Had to have an afternoon nap on both Saturday and Sunday, which was not ideal, but I was falling asleep. So we're really getting to like zombie mode, scraping off the final bits of fat. Check-in photos this morning I was really happy with, but we've got so my current weight is 57.3, started at 65 kilos, so I'm down 57.3. Me and my coach think that a good aim this time around is to be a maximum of 54 kilos for the shoot. So the last two shoots that I did, I was 55.5. If I can get down to 54 for this one, not only will I be bigger in terms of having more muscle, but I'll also be far leaner. So the overall look should be way better than the last shoot. So the race is on to 54 kilos. We are 7 weeks out, so we're scraping away at this point, and I completely agree with calorie drop. To be honest, there might even be a bit more of a calorie drop. Like, front is looking good. The front is really getting there, but my back, lower back fat for me is that place where we just got to like scrape away. So that might take a little bit more. So I'm going to have a really relaxed video with this one. You are just going to follow me around whilst I make all of my meals and go about living my life on 1,440 calories. I'm just going to fill this up with some water and then do my creatine. So the breakdown of that is 140 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, and 130 grams of carbs. So basically I got to the point where I knew that my rate of loss was slowing down, and I just knew that my coach was going to want to make some changes, and my thoughts were that he was going to want to increase cardio. Now at this point, I'll just mix this. At this point I was really not struggling with much hunger at all. Couldn't quite I couldn't quite believe it, but I really wasn't. But energy was starting to tank. So I stepped in and I said to him, look, if you are going to make any calorie adjustments and increase the total deficit for the week, I would rather lose food, as mad as saying that sounds, I would rather lose food than do more cardio. So that was where the small drop in calories came from. We're checking in again tomorrow. I don't know if he'll want to make any adjustments. Things are obviously far slower in terms of rate of loss at the minute, but I'm also pretty lean, so I'm not going to be losing a kilo a week at this point. Even 0.8 kilos a week is a big ask. So I don't know, but at this point I don't really know if I'd rather he took away more food or gave me more cardio. Maybe now I'm verging on just having a bit more cardio if I need to. I'm at that point now where it's like, look, it's going to be hard. This is hard fat loss. This is not just a casual diet. We're at the point now where we're 7 weeks out. We're scraping away fat. Every day that I can get through where I don't cave in and I'm not just like lying on the floor with my eyes closed is a win, which sounds extreme, but you know, prep like this is a challenge. It's meant to be. So as much as I will, there's definitely times behind the scenes where I'm moaning about it. I'm completely embracing this. This is my choice to do this. I see it as a challenge. It's no different to someone running a marathon or doing a high rocks. Like, it's a challenge, I enjoy it, and it will all be worth it when I get the result in those photos. So, gonna make my breakfast, doing the same breakfast as I've done throughout this entire prep. 40 grams of oats. I then put in about 100 ml of water and top it up with 50 ml of almond milk. Is it almond milk? Yeah, it is almond milk. This is where I'm at now with prep, where I'm like, my brain's just not working. And then we do 30 grams of whey sludge. Currently using, this is a new one actually. It's the chocolate caramel Perform. It just tastes like chocolate. I'm not really gonna, I wouldn't buy this one again. I like trying the new ones, but I can't say that this is particularly incredible. And then 40 grams of frozen blueberries. Apologies if you can hear the kettle in the background. I'm just about to also make a coffee. The whey sludge could not be easier to make, right? You just dump however much protein you need into the mug, and then tiny little splashes of water, mix it up, and then you get it to whatever consistency you want it to. But I absolutely hate when protein powder gets mixed directly into oats. It just tastes like sand. So for me, it's sludge all the way. 40 grams of frozen blueberries, and then the whey sludge just goes on top. But this all just gets mixed up. I have no interest in making this presentable whatsoever. So the time is currently 7:15. I get up at 6:30. Usually I would be standing here slightly quicker, but obviously because filming it just makes things a little bit longer. So I'm gonna eat this, drink my coffee, do my morning journaling, and then head out, do some steps. I'm gonna aim for somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000. Daily target is 10,000, so if I can get a good, at least, well, minimum a quarter of them done, probably a bit more, then I'll come back. I'll do my first bits of work, so I'll post today's physique update on Instagram, do the same on my story, do some client responses, and then I'll head off. At that point, my food will have digested and I'll be ready to go and train push and do my cardio. Come back, and then it's just a full day of work. So Mondays, I don't do client check-ins, but I do client calls. So I've got 3 hours of client calls, 2 hours where I'm setting up a new client, and then just an hour with a current client who we're going to do a Zoom call with. And then I've got emails to write. I've got the Transform Plus group launch coming up very, very soon, which I am so excited for. More on that later if you haven't already heard about it, but I'll also put it in the description as well. And I've got an education call to jump on. Monday is mostly just admin stuff, which I do actually really enjoy. So, gonna eat this, and then we are gonna crack on with the day. Alright everyone, hope we're good. 7 weeks out. Okay, we are back. Post-workout meal. This has been one that I've been rinsing now for weeks and weeks because I just really enjoy it. So we get a bit of carbs in there post-workout. So I've got 3 chicken sausages and 80 grams of fries in the oven, which I'll get out in a second, and then I'll just bulk this up with a load of salad. So, salad-wise, I'm literally getting through a bag of lettuce a day right now, which is fun. So, half a bag of lettuce, the other half I'll have later on. Cucumber. Training session was actually pretty good today. I did push and cardio. Cardio felt pretty good. I'm definitely not as fast at the cardio as I was towards the start when I had way more energy, but today felt pretty good. Training wise also felt pretty good. It's so hit or miss right now. Like, it can be a case of I go into the gym and I feel like crap, and I actually have a really good session where I'll like match last week's numbers or get some like progressively overload. Sometimes you can go in, you can feel great, energized, pre-workouts hit, and then it's like nothing. Like, I'm a rep down on things, barely matching the week before. It's just one of those, like, 7 weeks out, it's not going to get any better from here, so I just have to embrace how I'm feeling. A hack that I picked up in the last prep that I did was there's basically nothing in Dijon mustard, near enough. Obviously I track it, but a teaspoon of that, and for me that hits the spot because there's no way I'm having just a dry salad. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of Dijon mustard on that. 3 chicken sausages. I am still as obsessed with these as I was when I first started eating them. I started out prep eating like a bunch of chicken breast, and I just got to the point where I was like, I just can't stomach more chicken breast. So chicken sausages came in and I'm still really enjoying them. And then 80 grams of fries. It feels pretty damn good to get 80 grams of fries into my diet at like 7 weeks out. I had a little bit of extra fats lying around today, just based on how I've planned my meals. So I managed to cook that in some olive oil instead of a calorie-free spray, which is nice just to get some like healthy fats in there. All right, it's 12:30. Time to eat this and then crack on with some work for the day. I have just spent a good 3.5 hours sorting out a whole load of stuff for the Transform Plus launch coming up in under 2 weeks now. Transform Plus goes live. I am so excited. There is nothing out there, and I mean nothing, in the world that is as good as this for trans men. And if you're not getting involved, you are mental. If you're on the fence, you're mental. The full details are always down below, but I'm only taking on 20 guys for this. And full disclosure, I already have more names on the priority list than I do have spaces. So if you're interested, not only are you going to need to put your name on that priority list to get involved, but you're also going to need to set an alarm for August 28th at 8 AM UK time. Work with me for 8 weeks and chase your best physique ever instead of half-arse in the next 6 months and losing a grand total of £1. Anyway, I am also about to have a snack, and this giant bowl has been my lifesaver on prep. I am a snack guy. I will not be going lunch to dinner without having anything in between. So around 3-4 o'clock, I'll have this meal. I'm going to call it a meal, even though it's technically a snack, because the size of this thing, right? This is more protein than, let's say, a grenade bar. Same calories, about just over 200, but this is about 600 grams of food to sit in my stomach, as opposed to the 60 grams, which is like 3 bites of a grenade bar. So this thing is keeping me way fuller than that protein bar would. Don't get me wrong, I'm at the point of prep where I'm very hungry when it comes to dinner, but this thing keeps me going as much as possible until then, whereas a protein bar just wouldn't. I'm going to eat this, carry on with some more Transform Plus stuff, and then at 5 o'clock I've got a setup call with a new one-to-one client, and that can last up to 2 hours. And then I've also got a check-in Zoom call with my client Travis at 7:30. So not 100% sure when I'll be having dinner, potentially between the two if the setup call doesn't last the full 2 hours, or we might be stretching this one out long and I'll be having my dinner after 8 PM, which is not ideal, but the work's got to be done. How are you? Final meal has been eaten, so as you saw, a little bit different, because usually I don't have like 6 chicken sausages in a day, but I mucked up my chicken this week. So usually I would have a cooked chicken breast that I actually just buy like a packet, because who's got time to be cooking chicken breasts, and chicken sausages for lunch. But I bought too many chicken sausages and not enough cooked chicken breast, so chicken sausages twice. So 3 of those alongside of half a pack of lettuce, the other half that I mentioned earlier on, and some roasted med veg. What I have there is, today I had mushrooms and peppers. Sometimes I'll have some courgette in there, with, of course, the trusty Dijon mustard. And that is my food for the day. I ate my dinner at about 6:40, which is pretty good going. If hunger's too much, then I can eat it at like 6 o'clock. And to be honest with you, yes, I'll be hungry going to bed, because I'm not then going to bed for like another 4 hours. But the food focus almost drops for me, because it's like, okay, I've had my last meal now. That's it. I'm not waiting for any more food. So I don't know. It works for me. But that is a full day of eating on my dust calories to round off this video, I just checked in with my coach. So I sent in my voice note for the week, and I thought I'd just go through my notes. So I spoke to him about how last week I had a trip to London, a family day out. I took my mum and sister to Hampstead Heath, and I stuck to my calories for that whole day, and we did 21,000 steps. And I stuck to my like 1,400 odd calories, and I was very pleased with myself because prior to that, I had mucked up a little bit with some. I hadn't had like a full on binge. I did do a little post about this, so if you want to go and read it, then you can do. But I didn't do myself proud with some traveling, so this was my redemption. So I was very pleased about that. New calories, hunger wise, feel pretty okay. Weekends are more difficult because I've got less stuff to do, so I'm more food focused. But during the week, like today, for example, yesterday my hunger was bad, and I would describe it as like a 5 out of 5, food focused to the gills. Whereas today, I'd say I'm like 2.5, 3 out of 5, not bad. But energy is absolutely tanked. So because of that, I've spoken to him about workout volume. My workout volume right now is the highest it's ever been. And I say ever been, for a very long time at least. And the prep that I did a couple of years ago, the volume, the total number of sets per week was obviously a lot less. And I, right up until the very end of prep, didn't really suffer with too much of a drop in the logbook. Like, even the last few weeks where you're just pure zombie mode, I was still maintaining all my lifts, matching the week before. Some were still going up. The only thing that was dropping a bit was my RDL, to be expected. Whereas now I'm 7 weeks out and I'm really struggling to maintain numbers. So I'd want to talk to him about potentially dropping the number of sets per week to a number that still allows me to maintain the muscle that I've got without doing as many sets as I'm currently doing, if he thinks that's possible. And I also asked about the potential for when the next refeed will be. I don't know. Like, we've got 3.3 kilos to go in 7 weeks. Ideally, I would like to get at least another refeed in there for a multitude of different reasons. But also, this week, I'm meeting up with a few clients in London, and I'm going to be taking them through some training stuff, and then we're going out for some food after. For me, it isn't a case of like, I won't be able to stay on plan, because I'll do it. But if I could have some extra food and I could time a refeed with it, that would be great. So I've said to him, if I can get into the 56s before Saturday, is there the potential for me to have a refeed? We'll wait and see. But ultimately, I've got 3.3 kilos to go in 7 weeks. We're right on it. There's enough time to get it done, but not enough time to mess about. So that's why I employ him to make sure that I'm not making daft decisions. All the details for Transform are down below. I spent 5 or 6 hours today putting in some more work on Transform Plus, and honestly, it's going to be so, so special. There is nothing out there right now like this. This is rapid fat loss made by a trans man for other trans men. Right now, I think that you're being fed a load of crap by trans fitness influencers, supposed trans coaches. I got irritated by people saying that you should just bulk when quite clearly that's the worst decision for your physique. I got fed up of having people DM me and tell me about some of the absolutely horrific standards that they've dealt with in terms of coaches, where they'll pay for coaching and then, I kid you not, never hear from the person again. Like, blows my mind. That's not, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. The 8 weeks of Transform Plus is about getting you the best result possible in that time frame, and that involves a level of support that my one-to-one clients would get. So I'm not going to be scrimping on the amount of support that you get. It's delivered in some different ways, but the level of service, I'm like, honestly, I have no problems in saying it's world class. If you're getting involved, do not be worried, because if you follow the plan, you're going to get a great result, and that means that you're up for the running of winning the award at the end for the best transformation. Best transformation gets a full refund. And I'm currently dieting as well, so I'm doing it alongside you. So you can't call me a hypocrite when I tell you that you can't have a pastry when I also can't have one as well. 8:30, time to wind down, and then time to do it all again tomorrow. What are you all watching on Netflix right now? let me know. Because I'm watching some good things, but I'm enjoying them so much that I'm going to be through them very soon. I've been doing the Pan Am 103 drama, which is hard to watch, but fantastic. And some other bits that I can't remember the name of, so that's really helpful. Let me know what you're watching on Netflix. Oh, I started watching Spider Noir, which I know I'm late to the party, but I'm a busy guy. I might watch some more Spider Noir. Do you watch it in colour or black and white? Let me know down below. See you all in the next one.